Hello, this is Evangelist Robert L. McKim Sr. I have several things I want to talk about here today. First off, there's an elderly couple out of Strasburg, Ohio, that has came up missing yesterday. It's been making the news. Probably a lot of people here in Ohio know about it. There's an Amber Alert out for them. The couple is basically they're a good Christian couple. Their son, from what I have heard through the grapevine, is a preacher, and excuse me. The story is that they was supposed to pick up their son and take him to the airport, but they didn't show up. So daughter called the authorities to go check on them, and they found the door open and the house ransacked and a safe box open. The couple is missing. Their car is missing. Try and bring up the information here on them. Right here is the information. Doyle and Lillian Chumney, and what gets me is that there's another incident also going on in another county, Muskingum County, for instance, which isn't too far away, where there was an elderly couple found in a home, dead. They're still investigating. But, so that we got two elderly couple, one missing, another one dead. And several years ago, there was a lady from in between Port Orchard and Newcomers Town that was missing. Her car was gone, and later they found two young men with her car. They admitted to killing her and dumping her body somewhere along the road. They were high and drunk, and they don't really remember where they dumped her body. So to this day, still, no one knows where her body was dumped. I know because I was part of the search. There was a big search for her at the time. I was hoping to, find her alive, or at least find her body. Right here's the story. Let me get that off of there real quick. Victims in Adamsville die from carbon monoxide. So, actually, that was a carbon monoxide incident, but, things happen. So that's the updated. They was at first didn't know what was going on. Didn't know if it was crime related or not. But there, we got the the gist of what's going on there. But this other couple are still missing. There's an Amber Alert out for them. You know, things happen, you know, with, like what I said with that other couple, that it was carbon monoxide. But with Lucille Loader, that was murder. Robbery and murder. With this couple, so far right now, robbery, we don't know what has happened to them, where they are, where their car is. There's no updated information yet on their whereabouts. So yeah, things do happen in smaller communities, but it's few and far between. It don't happen on a daily basis. But in a bigger city like Canton, Ohio, Akron, Ohio, Cleveland, Columbus, Ohio, it's going on every day, every day, every day, every day, every day. Shootings, killings. Every day, something is going on. But there's some people out there think I should pick up, sell out, go rent someplace in a bigger city where I'm closer to all the big chain stores, so I don't have to drive so far. But don't you get what I'm trying to get at? It's safer here, really, when it comes right down to it, than it is in a bigger city. It's a lot safer. Should I risk my life and Renee's life of moving into a bigger city? Or just, you know, live in a smaller community where everybody knows you, everybody looks out for you? There was a woman that had commented on the video I did just recently where I was showing, you know, all the food that we've been getting from the ministry. And yeah, there's a lot of canned food that we have. But we try to eat more fresh foods than the canned foods. We do eat the canned foods in the winter months, but still we like to, much as we can, eat more fresh. What's wrong with that? And yes, I did go hungry for one winter back when I was around 7, 8 years old. Lived outside of Kim Bolton, Ohio, which Kim Bolton is made up of two names from the McKims, which is my namesake. Martin Van Buren McKim was one of the founders of Kim Bolton, and the Boltons, and which are two families that founded Kim Bolton. Long story short, we lived outside Kim Bolton on old 541 in this mobile home right here. That's me right there standing outside of the mobile home. And we behind there, I don't have it in this picture, but we had a garden. On the other side of the mobile home was a big pond, which was called Bishard's Lake. It wasn't really a lake. It was just a real big pond. It had a bridge that went over it. And we would go fishing because there was a lot of catfish in that big pond. Well, like I said, one winter we were snowed in because we had a lot of snow. Couldn't get out to go to the store, because actually the only store there was in Kim Bolton, it was just a little country store. They didn't stock a whole lot of stuff. You had to go to Cambridge to do grocery shopping. which was like 10 miles down the road to Cambridge from Kimbolton, or down the highway. Anyhow, long story short, we were snowed in. My mother canned a lot of stuff from the garden, and we had a lot of green beans and yellow beans. And while we were snowed in, that's all we had: green beans and yellow beans, 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 green beans and yellow beans. And we made green bean and yellow bean sandwiches. Basically, 2 pieces of bread and butter, butter on each side of the slices of bread, and you heat, boil the green beans and with some meat stock, and then put the green beans in between the bread. That's what I ate until we was able to get out and get to the grocery store. And basically it was like that for a whole week. A whole week of green bean sandwiches. So don't you tell me I don't know about going hungry. I know what it's like not to have certain kinds of foods that you need. Did you do that? Oh, got a text message or of some sorts. I wanted to show something too real quick, if I can get it here. Is my diabetic meter, because yesterday I wasn't feeling, actually we're still both fighting colds. And let me see if I can get this. Come on, I'm not sure how to do that. I can't remember. Okay, this was my number, my glucose, 199 from yesterday. Oh, what am I doing? I don't know. I want to stop that, actually. Not sure how to. I'm just going to let it shut off on its own. Anyhow, long story short, 199, almost 200 yesterday. And no, I haven't been eating the wrong kinds of foods. Actually, that was before I even ate breakfast. It was when I took my sugar, before I started eating breakfast. It was 199 before I ate anything yesterday. I also wanted to mention that I've been getting, some phone calls. I'm, put on my YouTube videos the phone numbers of the guys that's been calling me out of New York somewhere. They called me again last night. The one guy was trying to apologize for his cousin, but his cousin was saying something about that I know him, that we used to hang out together, and I'm like, what? We did? I don't remember you hanging out with you or anybody like you. And I asked the other guy that called me back, apologizing if they worked for Google. I thought maybe they worked for Google, since they had mentioned about my videos with Google and things like that. He said no, they don't work for Google. They're just basically calling me to harass me because of my YouTube videos. And of course, I tape record everything.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I know he's done this in the past with other people he's called and messed with. He doesn't mean any harm. He's not really, I don't want any troubles. Well, there will be no trouble what you needed to say.
He was saying his phone's about ready to die, but I was trying to ask if they work for Google, and he said no. He don't work for Google. He was trying to apologize. He doesn't want no trouble. Doesn't want his number out on the internet. Well, what gets me is sometimes when they call, it doesn't give a name, just gives a number. Sometimes it doesn't even give a name or number. Other times it gives, like, for instance, I'm not going to show it. I'm just going to, whoops, hang on a minute. Tell you here, like, for instance, Bay Shore, New York. And before that, it was, somewhere else in New York. Can't remember. Of course, it gave the person's name, and I looked at the number up, and it was a New York number. And long story short, they're out of New York somewhere, Bay Shore or wherever, and they're probably using throwaway phones since the numbers keeps changing. Long story short, I'm still getting the calls every now and then. I wanted to also mention, before I forget about it here, that we've been having some issues with the speed of our internet. We're supposed to get around 25 to 30 on our speed. And I'm doing a speed test right now with Time Warner to show what we're getting. And then I found out why we're getting this speed. So the download is right now 12.27. The upload is up there where we're supposed to be at. Of, 5.78. Well, see, the thing is, here's the thing. Oops, let me get the right thing here. Don't need that. Right now, we are connected through the extender. See, the bars is full bars. We have good signal with the extender, which is this right here, Netgear extender. But if I was to switch off, disconnect, and then connect to the main Netgear router in the bedroom. Let me put in my code real quick. Putting in my code so I can connect to the regular Netgear box, which is straight down the hallway on top the TV with a little antenna on top of it. That's the main Netgear wireless router, which now I'm connected to that. Now let me do the speed test. 20.80 download, and again 5.73 for the upload, which is the same. The download is now faster going through the main Netgear router, but when I'm connected to the extender, see, the signal strength is excellent. Signal strength is excellent, but when we're connected to this, especially Renee, let's say Renee's sitting right here, okay? And there is a wall that is right behind us here. The signal doesn't come, okay, down the hall and then band around the hall to Renee's computer. Signal comes straight down the hall and then comes straight to my computer. And that's why we got the Netgear extender over here, so it picks up the signal on this side of the house trailer, and then it can broadcast it throughout our living room. So we have good signal in the living room and good signal in the back bedroom. But the problem is there is a loss in speed between the Netgear router and the Netgear extender. It's kind of like a switch off. Which do you want? Good signal or good speed? Well, I'm tired, like, sitting here or being on the computer, and then Renee's like, internet went down, internet went down, internet went down. I'm like, no, it's not. It's still up on my computer. Well, it's down on mine. I got a triangle. Nothing loads. That's because she'll end up losing signal from the Netgear router to her computer. She'll lose the signal. We got the extender so we both can stay connected in the living room to the internet, but yet we're losing speed. Something is not right, and I don't know what it is. Nobody really is truly explaining to me why we're losing signal. I mean, not signal, but speed. But we got the signal issue taken care of. Now we're trying to figure out how we can get the speed to come up on you know, from the Netgear router to the Netgear extender. You would think that the speed should be the same, because it's just picking up the signal and then broadcasting the signal, but it's losing the speed. I wanted to mention too real quick that somebody had mentioned to me that there is no such thing as evil in this world. That I'm the only one that's creating my own evil. But yet Jesus, when he was on earth, he fought against the evil. Actually, he didn't fight because he had the authority. He had authority over demons. There were demon-possessed people even in the times of Jesus. And there are demon-possessed people even today. People who are pretending to be God-fearing Christians that are not God-fearing Christians. They have a demon living inside of them, fooling people left and right. Jesus in Matthew 8 came across, well, see, this is the thing that gets me, 2 demon-possessed men, and he cast the demons into many swine. But then you go to Mark, it says something else. It says that there was one demon-possessed man, and he had a legion of demons that was cast into swine. So you got 2 different accounts here in 2 different areas. But I want to show you something here real quick. Let me find that. Where was that? Nope, I didn't go back far enough. The Bible says, basically, when unclean spirit goes out of a man, and he goes back and finds the man basically has set his house straight, more or less. He straightened himself up. Then that demon can go and get 7 more demons who are even worse than he is, and repossess that person again. That's what that means. And don't say it doesn't mean that. That's what it means. Demons can repossess somebody again. Now, like I had preached before, we are to put on the whole armor of God. Why are we to put on the whole armor of God? See, nobody wants to read before this why we should put on the whole armor of God is because we are to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, which is the host or the body that these principalities and agents, again, of different rulers of darkness can basically inhabit people's bodies. That is why we're supposed to put on the whole armor of God, is because there are evil people out there doing the will of Satan. These phone calls, they're just doing the will of Satan. The words that somebody keeps saying on my YouTube and Facebook, they're just doing the will of Satan. They're not doing the will of God. Because no Christian, no true Christian, will call another Christian names. Nobody would call another preacher names. Faker, baker, and things like that. And Paul Beggar Begley and things like that. Nobody in their right Christian mind and heart would even do anything like that. And if it, I'm not saying who's doing it, but and I know I'll probably get hell for saying this, but my time's about gone on this video camera, so God bless you. Have a blessed day.